Hello, Starseeds and magical friends, and welcome to the next episode of the Truth, Beauty, Freedom, and Love Show. And on today's show, I have my beautiful friend Pastelle with me today, and we are going to talk about anime and more specifically, our top 5 choices for animes that you should watch because of the stories found within them that, for us personally, have found, I guess, personal power. And I think anime does a beautiful job, I think, personally, of emphasizing themes of friendship and love a lot. And as cheesy as that sounds, that's the point of anime, being able to bring those emotions to the surface in art. So that's what I think the beauty of anime is. And Pastelle loves anime just as much, if not more, than I do. And so we're going to go through our top 5 from 5 to 1 for our anime. So I'm going to throw to you, Pastelle. How are you doing tonight? And how excited are you to discuss? Actually, how about you tell me how you first discovered anime? Because we're going to go through our top 5, but you can tell me how you first came upon it. Being in France too, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Actually, France is the second country who watched the more manga over the world after Japan.
Really?
Yes, they do.
I'm not surprised. I also know that France is like the place to be for sci-fi stuff.
I
Like,
thought it would be UK, but probably.
no,
I mean,
it's like,
maybe-
yeah, I took English lit in university, and like France is like, I don't know, like something in like, you guys are like okay with weird stuff. So like,
Yes, I guess.
so I mean, like if you have like these crazy ideas, like especially science fiction, it like did really well in France, right?
Probably.
Yeah, go on.
So, yeah, the first time I discover anime, I mean, I think I'm kind of a baby of that generation, you know? Where
You're an old soul, that's why, Pastelle.
and it's like I'm part of that generation where comics was really trendy first, and then you had that Japanese version of it.
Yeah.
I just grew up in that. Like we always had mangas. We always had one in terms of cartoons in general. My generation has a big influence coming from anime.
Like animation. Yeah. Because I remember when I did this last show with our friend Lubo and Kevin, he's an animator, and he was talking about how a lot of his early influences being an animator were like, some of the French animations. So there's already like a culture in France for animations in general. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So what was the first anime you watched?
The first, there's
the first one that you watched or like got into the series, or and you like binge the whole thing, or like wait till the next week for the episode?
I think it's so it starts really earlier, after school kind of thing. When I was running with my little brother to go back home so I don't miss out the episode, and it was Detective Conan, so it's Conan Detectives, maybe in English.
Conan Detectives. I'm gonna look it up.
Watching like right now, and the series, the show starts on the 5th January of 1994. I'm born in 1994.
Oh, weird.
Yes.
Let's put a little.
Yeah,
weird,
it's like
a wink. That's a wink. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make some notes on live, because there is truth in comic books. So something weird, and I talked about this on my podcast earlier. So Supergirl, she is part of this story arc in comics called The Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? So the multiverse of DC. And Supergirl, when they tried to consolidate all these timelines, because they created the multiverse with the Flash, I think in like the 1960s. So years passed, and they're like, okay, there's like way too many timelines. There's way too many superheroes. We need to like clean up all the timelines, because like all the different creators went crazy. So they're like, okay, they killed Supergirl. And when they released the comic book of them killing Supergirl, was April of 1985, which is the month of my birth. Yeah,
Oh,
and so Supergirl was
that's
gone from comic books for about 10 years, and then they revamped her storyline. So it was like, so like, it's like you died in that, and then you like came, and I came here.
she's like, you thought she would be dead,
But
and
I'm
she's
back,
back.
bitches. I'm gonna write my own story. But it was, when I read that, I was like, that's trippy. Like, the month of my birth, you released a comic book about Supergirl's death, and she was supposed to stay dead. She made a sacrifice to save reality.
Oh, I see.
So it was like a big sacrifice, and they wanted it to mean something, and so she wasn't written about for a while. So they brought her back. But 1994 was when they released this manga.
Yes, exactly. So that manga as my age.
Oh my, yeah. So you guys have the same Astro.
No, like maybe a Chinese one, but like not
not the whole thing. Yeah, but the year, in terms of the year of that. And what is if you had to give, actually, this is in your top 5, right?
It's not in my top 5. It's my
okay. So that's a good thing for us to start with. Then we can start with our top 5.
Yeah, but my first, and after I would say the first real one.
So wait. Tell me what the synopsis is for this manga first.
So basically, it's a thriller series. So the main character, Conan, is supposed to be an adult, and he gets like in a trap, let's say, by a big enemy that we don't know a lot about.
Okay.
And he's been poisoned, let's say, by that enemy, and he became a kid. Like,
I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
And that kid is kind of in charge. Like, the girlfriend of Conan is raising basically that kid, because he asked her, he kind of set a plan to make her think that he has to leave because he has something to do very important, and he just leave you the kid because you have to take care of him by the time I come back. But it's basically him. And the father of that girlfriend is actually a detective, a very bad one though. Like, he's not really good. But Conan is here, and he's assisting in secret, undercover, let's say, the dad of that girlfriend to solve some crimes, and are dying, and we don't know who is the killer, like who killed that woman, and how does it work.
This detective Conan guy as a kid, though, he obviously, like, does anyone know that he's also like, that he's just, like, he's like transformed? Does anyone know?
Only one person knows, and it's a doctor. Like, it's a doctor. He reached out the doctor and say, this is Conan. I don't know. I don't remember the name of Conan. It's not Conan, the name. He has
we'll figure it out. Yeah, but like, why do they call him Detective Conan then?
Because he's the detective of all the crimes and stuff. Like, he's a little detective. He's like, when I'm gonna be an adult, I'm gonna be detective just like you, like talking about the dad of the girlfriend. But he's actually a detective because the real guy, he's actually a detective too. So he, it's kind of a flashback, something in the present.
Yeah. It's like it's a strange, like, timeline thing, because like you have a consciousness of like someone older and a kid, and then the kid like playing this role, being like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a great detective like you, except you are the great detective already, even though you're a kid.
He has to stay during the how do we say it? When you kind of try to solve an affair or something. So he's like, they're like, this is not for kids. Why are you coming? And he's like, I want to be a detective just like you. So I'm staying with you. I want to know, and I'm playing around and stuff. And when he's actually like looking for clues and stuff like that, and solving the murder by himself, and bring it to the people through that dad, like the
okay, so like that's like how he, and then like he basically like told his girlfriend this story to have her take care of him.
Exactly.
And so like get in the family, and then that's how, yeah.
Exactly.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, that's very anime too, because in like the later seasons of Sailor Moon, there's like the future comes to Crystal Tokyo, and so Sailor Moon's daughter comes into the past, but she pretends to be Sailor Moon's sister.
Yeah.
So they like brainwash their mom, who's not really
Yeah.
their mom, into being like, oh, this is like my little sister, but it's really my daughter from the future. So
yeah,
that's
So the name of the character is Shinichi Kudo. Oh,
Shinichi Kudo. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
Shinichi Kudo is actually Conan Edogawa, so that's the thing.
It's very popular, it looks like.
So that was my first, the thing.
That was the thing that grabbed you for like.
Oh yeah, the first one. Like I remember probably I was 7, 8 years old. Yes, 8, 9 years old. I was like going after school to see my episodes. They were giving 2 episodes, so I had to go in.
And I had to, And then they always have like their theme at the end, and it's so Japanese.
Of course, the openings and the endings. You know, I have a rule. If the opening is good, means that this is a good manga.
It's
that's
actually speaking of which, I'm gonna get into my top 5. We're gonna start from 5 and we're gonna work our way to number 1. My 5, and then I'm gonna have like a thing come up. 5.
Are you making a
or some sort of like sound effect? Like, so my 5, it was hard to pick actually, if you really think about like all of them, all of the animes that exist ever. Number 5 is eskeflowne. No one knows about eskeflowne. I don't even really understand the full story of eskeflowne. I used to just watch it on weekends, and here I'll play the full opening.
Yes.
It's very oh my gosh, Fox Kids edit of the show. Okay. It's got mechs and warriors, and it's like about this schoolgirl who she's like the reincarnation of a princess, I believe. Here we go.
Ooh, wow, that's a big dragon.
Right?
That's so old school. Oh, she get trapped. Oh my god. She's coming from Earth and she get trapped to another dimension.
Yeah. And then there's a dragon. Max.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my 5. There was only 1 season. And let me see what people say about this. I couldn't wait to watch this when I was little. I remember specifically recording the opening on my Talk Girl FX Plus because I loved it so much. So fun. I need to go back and watch this again. I don't even really remember. This is the show that got me into anime. It wasn't the show that got me into anime, but it was on the weekends. And it was like on at like some random time. So I wasn't able to watch it all the time. And all I know is about a schoolgirl, and she was like, there's like a dreamscape as well. And so that dream world is like merging with the real world. And so stop this. So that is my 5. I'm gonna have to get into more in like a later date as to rewatching it. But anyone out there who's watched eskeflowne, drop what the actual plot is of the actual anime, because I don't really know. I never figured it out. I knew that she was in love with this guy who had wings, and he was hot. It was like the super hot anime guy. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to give Kevin that like armor, because it's like this armor and these wings, and and he has a sword that he like defends, like, and he fights demons and stuff. So like it's so magical, but like I didn't watch enough of the more important episodes to understand like how come you got into this magic world. And then why was she so important? And I remember when Nurse would watch some of it with me, she thought that the main girl was really annoying, so she never like got into it. So, and that's important too. Like if you find the main person like annoying, you're not going to stick with it. You have to care.
Yeah, you have to care.
You have to care. So with that, Pastelle, your top 5, your number 5 choice of anime recommendation.
My number 5 is like
I think I have it written down too, in case you forgot.
Yes. Oh, because we're going 5, right?
We're gonna start with 5 first. So GTO.
GTO, great.
Yeah.
Oniska, best opening ever.
Let's go find it. Okay.
No.
GTO opening. Full.
This is really.
I was telling Kevin, I'm like, you look like this guy with if you were Asian and had a blonde wig.
Yes, we could name it. We could name it like Great Teacher Kevin. Literally, yeah. He has the same energy, you know, kind of
drives a bike. Yeah, I'm trying to find one that has its driver's high is the. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, found it. Oh, it's got a cool kind of like manga looking opening.
Yes, it's very, very manga. And I